Hi, I'm Sharon Renfro. Our Hearts and Minds at SharonRenfro.com believes that we must open our minds before we can open our hearts to one another, a fundamental idea to an alternative way to understand the psychology of relationships. Now, this means that the key to a successful, long-term, committed, and meaningfully connected relationship requires relationship partners to think. Today's video explores how to use the 3 steps of thinking related to being single or self-partnered. Now, I'm going to give you a very brief definitions of the 3 steps of thinking, which will be followed by just a few examples to demonstrate how to use this process so that you can use it for yourself. The first step of thinking is to research, which means to objectively gather pertinent information. Number 1. Each individual has 2 needs which must be balanced throughout his or her lifetime: the need to be an individual self and the need to be in a relationship. Number 2, the individual performs an emotional assessment of these needs with everything that happens to us. The emotional assessment is extremely basic. It's black and white, and it produces the simplest perception of either safety or threat. Safety is experienced as calm, threat is experienced as anxiety. Number 3, this is the only assessment available to us as infants. With the subjective system, feelings eventually adding information to the assessment of safety or threat to either decrease or increase the sense of safety or threat with positive or negative feelings. Number 4, as the brain matures, the ability to think comes online. Now, we were meant to eventually replace the emotional and subjective assessments with thought. Our parents must decrease the entanglement of the parent-child relationship and teach us how to think. Unless our parents have matured to that level, we won't be able to learn to think. Number 5, void of the ability to think, we will not mature and learn the most adaptive strategies of thoughts in order to keep ourselves safe. Now, the second step in thinking is reason, which means that we use logic to see how the objective and pertinent information interrelates, which increases our understanding of relationship process. Number 1, if we've not learned to think and therefore not learned adaptive strategies and skills to keep ourselves safe as an individual, we will continue to use entanglement in relationships, expecting others to nurture us, to care for us, and to protect us. Number 2, if we need entangled relationships, we will view the option of being single or self-partnered as somehow deficient or inadequate. Number 3, if we need entangled relationships, simply due to the nature of what entanglement means, the need to be an individual will be regularly threatened by the need for the relationship. The relationship will experience high levels of conflict, fight, distance, flight, pretend camouflage, and cutoff, play dead, as the balance between the need to be an individual and the need for a relationship swings back and forth based on feelings and emotions of the moment. Number 4, as a result, the relationship may be unstable, on again, off again, or may be untenable. Number 5, if the individual has learned to think, the choice to be in a relationship or to be single, self-partnered, will be possible. Now, the third step of thinking is reflection, which means that we use the understanding gained by reason and research to experience an increased awareness of ourself as an individual in the context of having the skills and abilities necessary to ensure individual safety, while also being able to see how self is interconnected to others. Number 1, from the ability to secure one's own safety while also being able to experience the richness of meaningful connections, a person may choose to be single without sensing threat or negative feelings such as loneliness. Number 2, from that position, individual interests, goals can be the primary focus without, as important relationships warrant, Those individual interests can be set aside temporarily for the common good. Number 3, pressures from others who sense being single as a threat can be responded to with thought. We don't have to be reactive about that. We can stay our course. Now, if these ideas have been beneficial to you, please like us so that others who may benefit can find us. You may also find more information and in-depth discussion in our free podcast series, Our Hearts and Minds, The Psychology of Relationship, either at Castbox or at SharonRenfro.com. And you can visit our website, SharonRenfro.com, just to learn more and explore about relationships from this alternative way of thinking. Thank you so much for listening.